I did not want to do that. That's okay. Hello, precious people. I'm Jacqueline Parks. Welcome to my studio. I'm going to be painting a beautiful sunset, or that could be a sunrise, on the little dock with some trees and a little boat. So yes, it's good to see y'all. I hope y'all are having a good day so far. I've been kind of trying to get everything organized for my live today, and so right now I've got my here's my little setup. I've got some little waters, my little spray bottle, not that I need it. I got my tea. I do have a little clipboard, and I've been using this paper, which I like so much, y'all. If you are serious about being a watercolor artist, you need to try this paper. And I have been getting good deals on this at Michael's. And if you don't have a Michael's, I think you can order that kind of stuff online. Do I want to tape this down today? This clipboard is a little bit small for this paper. This paper is 9 by 12. So that's a really good size. I've been finding some good frames for this on Amazon. They're fairly inexpensive. In fact, I got 2 for $13, which is really a great deal. Because of Amazon Prime Day or whatever it was just recently. You know what else I've gotten? I'm not using it today, but let me show you. If let me transition. Here we go. So this is a new camera I got. It's plugged in. It's charging. I'm not going to be using it today. Let me see if I can unplug that. But it's got I've read some reviews. It's actually for YouTube creators. It's got a pull-out screen that can go backwards like that. So I kind of want to experiment with this. It just came this morning. That's kind of why I'm running a little bit behind. I was kind of playing around with my new camera, trying to figure it all out. Anyways, I'm charging the battery. I may have to get some more batteries. I don't know. Right now I've got it plugged in and charging. So maybe next Monday we'll have it for it. I don't know. Anyway, so here's my little thing. I want to do a quick sketch. So I have a pencil. Lately I've not been using an eraser for anything. But that's just how it is sometimes. You just want to do whatever. Look at all this. I've got like so much on my desk. And I actually don't even have my light on. Let me see if that makes any difference. If that makes it a little bit better. I think it does. But, so yeah, this is a good little setup here. I'm going to pull up my image just so I can see it while I sketch. Let me see if I can find my image. Sometimes it doesn't want to cooperate. Okay, so I'm going to sketch this real quick. And it actually has a fair amount of the dock and less sky. So maybe I want to crop that and do more sky and less dock. That might be cool. So what I might do is go down here and do like a nice little, that's going to be the little mountain there. And I don't know where this is. I got this off of Pixabay. And what's cool about stuff like this is you can really just make up whatever you want. It doesn't have to look like anything. But what's kind of cool is you got to make sure when you do the reflections, you got to do them perfectly. And see, I normally do this in my, what you call it, I have like this thing I use, DaVinci. See, that's kind of, I don't know. So the dock is going to be like right here. Let's see, sometimes I need to remember I gotta learn how to draw stuff, right? So some of these are going to be wonky, just like that. We got some posts. Lots of posts. And I'm not really being too exact because I'm going to let my painting do all the work. You know what I'm saying? And there. So now I got that done. Let me see if I can find y'all again. Pull this back up. So I just want to show you this again and see how that's looking. Pretty good. I kind of cropped it, so we'll see how that looks. I wonder if I can add an image in here to my thing while we're doing a live. Let me see if I can do that. So then you can see it kind of up in the corner. And let me see if that works. There you go. See, it got that in the corner now right here. There's lots of videos if you need help figuring out how to make your own videos, because I'm no expert. So nice and hot. Okay, so what are we going to start with? We're going to start with some big brushes. Big. So I like these. I don't know why. These are from Michaels. They're cheap. I like them. They work great. Look at what comes with them. There's actually 5, so I must have lost one somewhere along the line. But I don't know where. I'm probably going to need this one. I don't think I'm going to use all these, but I'm going to need my little liner. What else am I going to use out of here? I love that one. This one's good for little details. So that'll be good. So for now, I'll just leave them right here at the bottom. Although sometimes my wrist hits it and it makes noises, so I may end up moving that. But for now, it's gonna go good. Let's see. So right now, I want to take this one and I'm gonna wet with some clean water. And I'm going to just go right here above all that. And I'm not even taping down today. It's okay. I ran out of time. I had to put a little bit of makeup on so I didn't look too ghoulish. Although Halloween's right around the corner, so I could look ghoulish, I suppose. Skies are really fun to paint. I love them because they're just, I mean, I want to say they're easy to paint, but some people might not be thinking that they're easy to paint. I don't know. I just kind of like them. So I've got this pretty saturated now. And let's see if I can look at my photograph so I know what it looks like. It's got a lot of blue. Let's see. I'm going to mix some of my blue. I use this one just to get all these wet. And I'm going to get some of these wet. You can always use this to spray them down. That's probably faster. Let's see. I'm going to start with the sun. The sun. And let's see if we can paint the sun right above here. There's a little bit up here. See how cool that is? See how cool? So cool. Okay, what about some of this stuff in there? That's a little more orangey than I wanted it, but that's okay. It's kind of more orangey over here. And right there. Ugh. Yo, my back is killing me today. I was fixing up my little baby box turtle habitat thingy. And that required some bending over. So that was why my back is killing me today. I'm going to need some more of this yellow. I don't even know if I have that yellow. Do I have any more of that yellow? Oh, I don't even know. Wait a minute. That is yellow ochre. No, that's dark. I have no idea what New Gamboge is. New Gamboge. What's this color? Orange. Wait. What's this color? Yellow. That might work. Let me see. I think we're going to be okay for now, but I'm going to open this just to see. I think it is that color. Look at that. Perfect. Sometimes it is nice to have them all squeezed out and fresh, but I don't need them to be all fresh. Let me see. I gotta look at the picture, y'all. Look at your picture. If you're not looking at your picture, you're not gonna see accurate details. So always look at your picture. I'm gonna get some of that more orangey color back in here. And right now, you're like, what happened to the blue? I think I'm gonna do the blue right now. That's what I'm gonna do. And I'm gonna lift that up because I don't want that much orange. All right, that looks good. This might be a little dark right in there. So I'm just gonna lift it up just a little bit. So that's fine. Okay, so now I'm gonna mix some blue. I'm not sure what color blue I want, so I'm gonna put this one, which I think is pretty good over there. And look at that. So that's good. I don't know what all that is. It's not very happy, but guess what? I could probably chop that off. I don't like it. What's this blue? I like this blue, I think. And get in there and get all kinds of blue. And see, I'm trying to avoid mixing because we don't want greens. I don't know, my paper might be drying is what's going on. But if you find it's really drying, you can do that. And I might put a little bit of this darker blues. Darker blue is good. Just let it mix on the paper. And just keep trying different things. If we're not trying things, we're not growing as an artist. We're gonna keep trying things. Reese, you're driving Mama nuts. Yep, you are. Right, I'm gonna lift up just a little bit in here because it's kind of light on the picture, so but that's okay. And see, these lines are staying a little bit harder than I wanted them to stay. So I'm just gonna re-wet real quick and pull them away. Pull them away. But that's why I like the arches, because it does hold this very well. I think that's a little turquoisey there. Reese. And what's cool, you can see, get some darker, and I'm going to do some darker down here. I think I hear my little dog barking. Why is my little dog barking? I don't know. All right, see the purpley color? We need some purpley color now. So I'm going to mix it with my blue. Look at how that's changing already. So what I want to do is add the clouds. Look at that, how it just flows. I love it. I just love it. And what's also really cool about this is you will not be held accountable if your clouds don't look exactly like the clouds in the photograph, because no one will know. I want to know where my dog is and why my dog is barking. Does not make sense. All right. Now, I might throw some of those in there. And maybe a little bit in here. Yeah, that's looking really pretty. And see how that's, you can just wiggle your brush a little bit and look what it does. It's so pretty. The one thing I do want to keep kind of going with this is this direction with the clouds. Just add a little bit of that in there. Like that. And see how it's still pretty wet in there, so it's good. I don't want to do too much into that yellow because it'll start to turn kind of green. I don't want that. Okay, now I want to add just a little bit more of that yellow maybe over here. Orangey yellow is what I should have called it. Watercolor is just kind of fun to watch. I think, anyways. Now, I may end up just dabbing that out a little bit because I think it's just a little too bright. But, you know, no one's going to really know for sure how bright it was. There, I think that's looking pretty good. Gotta figure out how to get back to OBS. There he is. Oh, hey, Christy. Sorry you're late. It's okay. Guess what? I was late too. And good morning, Linda. So wonderful to see you guys on here. So yeah, how's that sky looking so far? I think it's looking pretty good. Give me some hearts, give me some likes, and that will help push the video to more people who can enjoy watching me be silly on video. But so yeah, I've been kind of focusing on painting. Didn't really see y'all join the chat. Sorry about that. Let's see. It's just so cool how like I'm staring at this paper, just putting color on here. And then when I look at the screen and I see it, I'm like, wow, it's a sky. And when I'm first putting it down, it's just a bunch of color. So always, I would say always trust the process. Don't give up too soon on a painting because sometimes it doesn't look quite right at the beginning, but then it starts to look really good later. So, and see, my colors aren't quite as rich. Oh, thank you for the hearts. Thank you. Aren't as dark as that image. And I could totally change that up by going with some darker blues in there. And just kind of adding the water to let it flow. I hear my dog barking, like it's outside or something. Did someone let my little dog go outside? I feel like I need to go check. Which I don't know why. Or maybe he's stuck in a bedroom. That's always a possibility. Little Yorkies getting stuck in bedrooms. I could keep adding some more of this. This is a very granulating. It's very granulating. So like when you see it, it starts to separate because there's some pigment in this that's very heavy. So it sinks to the bottom. So that's why if you hear about granulating colors, there's some colors that have that additive or something in it to give it the color, the pigment, and that makes it granulate. And I believe this is that kind. So some people don't really like to paint with the paint their sky with the granulating, but you know what? It looks pretty to me. I like it. So and like this is the part where you're like, should I keep going? Should I not? I don't know. We'll just let it dry a little bit there. Okay, so now that I've got the sky going, I want to start working on, I usually like to do the water at the same time. So, because there's a reflection, right? So let me see, I'm going to look at the image real quick so I can be good about that. So this is going to be right here and a little bit of that. Oh yeah, look at that. It's so pretty. And then add a little bit of that orangey color. And a little bit down here. And then maybe a little bit more over here. And see, I didn't re-wet all this just because, I don't know, that's kind of how I do my sky. But I'm going to just go right in and do a light blue wash because that's almost white back there. And if I get it on the land portions, that's okay. I'm not going to be too upset by that because I'm going in with a dark color, so that's why it'll be good. Let's see. Same with those, the dock. I'm not too concerned about covering up my pencils marks because I'm going to go in and do it with a kind of darker color, probably burnt sienna or something. Love how this is looking though. Is that in the picture? Let me double check. I'm not even looking. Hold on. You want me to go check on my dog? I can go check on my dog. What is this? Is this a little piece of fuzz? You know, I try and keep my cats out of here, my dogs. But this stuff has been in a little cart in another room, so it's probably getting a little messed up. Let's see, I just want to get that a little bit. Just do that. All right, we're gonna let this do a little drying, and so I'm gonna take a little break and go see where my dog is because I know my child was just up. I'll be right back. All right, well, my child was sitting on the couch ignoring the dog, so I had to give her a little scolding to go look for the dog. Probably in a bedroom. Anyways. Ooh, I did get some little splatters here, which in the sky I don't want them, so I'm going to just erase them with a clean brush. And that should look fine. Okay, so this is coming along pretty good. Now, you never know, he might be stuck somewhere. I know, he was stuck somewhere once, and we didn't know where he was, but we could hear him kind of doing a little cry, like a little whimpery cry. And he was in Jake's room, which I don't even know how he got in there. So that was kind of crazy. Jess, did you find her? Did you find him? I don't know. She know yes. So let's see. Kind of want to make that more of a grayish thing, grayish dark. I don't know. And like the trees, you know, I probably should have painted the reflection in there. But I can do that after, like I can re-wet. It is a nice real dark color. I like that. And put a little Payne's gray. I like Payne's gray. So we're going to do this. And then just maybe a little bit under there. Just kind of add a little bit here and there. And see, a lot of times, and I've told you guys before, is I just let the Holy Spirit kind of move in me and not impede that at all. So it's like he knows how to do all this better than me. So I'm just gonna let him guide my hand. Ooh, that's turning green. I didn't know I wanted to turn green. So, and look at how wet my paper towel's getting. I dry off my brush so much that happens. And see, when I lift up, look at how that looks. See how that is? All right. Let me see. Our picture has so much going on in it. I'm not really sure. But I'm going to have to let it dry a little bit more probably. Let me get some more of this in here, down in here. That's what's going to make that real pretty. And kind of match the sky, see? And sometimes just get more water on there and just clean up those edges. Or I should say blur out those edges. So that's what I do a little bit. Let's see. Yeah, it's looking pretty good. Okay. Let's see what else we got going on. Y'all loving this cold weather? I know Linda's probably loving it. I am not loving it. I don't like it, but I have a sweater on today. See? Sweater. So a lot of times with these kind of paintings, I mean, I can do them pretty quick. It's going to be the detail of the dock that's going to take some time. And a lot of times you can't do anything until certain areas are dry. But I'm going to try and go in and do that, what you call it. I'm going to try and do that. Mountain? I don't know what it is. Hills, mountains, I think are a certain height, like over, is it over 10,000? I don't know. But I do know that I'm going to just put this color in there. And if the sky isn't too wet, this will work great. If the sky was still wet, it would be bleeding up into the sky. So that's kind of why, if you ever follow along with Paul Clark, he takes a little break in his video to show that it takes time to watch, well, not watch paint dry, but to allow the paint to dry. And so I'm just filling this in right now. I do like painting water and reflections. I think that's super cool how you can get that look. And I'm not doing this perfect to the photo, which is fine. I don't even know where this photo is taken. I got it off of Pixabay. If you guys ever need some royalty-free, copyright-free images in order to paint, that's the website I use, and it helps to make it so that my artwork will not get taken down because of a copyright infringement. We don't want that. Okay, so you see how that is? Now I'm going to actually lift. I got a text message. But now see how I'm making that look kind of like the fog. I don't know what you want to call that, like the fog, like the, I need another paper towel. This one is soaking wet. So, see, I'm drying. That's clean, right? So I'm just lifting. I'm lifting, and it's making that kind of fog. See how I'm lifting? So that's going to look pretty. And then now that that's kind of dry, I'm going to go in with a thicker consistency. I'm going to add some of my burnt umber or burnt sienna. I'm not really sure which that is. But when I mix Payne's Gray and that together, I get this real pretty brownish gray. So that looks really nice. I like it. And so I'm just going to go in there. I'm going to get right up into that where my pencil marks were. I can even go above it if I don't want to keep with that. The one problem, look at how it's bleeding down. I'm not sure if I'm going to be happy with that. We'll see. Need to make sure that it's straight across. Some people use tape. They tape it off. I'm just going to eyeball. And what's good about this is, like, even though it's kind of feathering out into there, I can do a couple of these and it makes it look like the little trees. So see how I'm just doing that? It's giving a little bit of detail. Not a ton, just a little bit. I'm going to come in with some more paint after that dries a little bit to make different levels, layers in there. But I'm not too happy that it is bleeding down into there, so I'm going to just swipe with a clean brush. Dry it off so that it's dry. And see how it just kind of erases that just a little bit. All right, I'm going to let that dry some more. Let's see if y'all have any questions going on. Oh, Marianne called you, Linda. When she's back, isn't she? I hope so. I hope we see her Thursday at coffee. So you're saying it's only supposed to be 69. 69's not bad. I like, 75 is my perfect temperature for the day. But 69, get a little sweater or coat on or something, and you'll be just right. Yes. So you should come on Thursday, Linda. You should come. You should come. I'm always saying that. Everybody should come. We have a few new people too. They don't come every week, but they've been coming more often. What's oh no 66? What's that mean? Oh no 66. That's the high 66. That's even more cold. So not real thrilled with that. But I do have my sweater on today. Oh, you'll try to come. Yay. Yeah, it's nice. I know it can be like overwhelming with a bunch of people there, but sometimes there's not. Sometimes there's only me. I want you guys to see what's happening to the sky right here. I am not happy with this little cauliflower effect going on. So see how this wetness over here just pushed some of the pigment, and then it has this harsh edge. Oh, you just looked again. They're always, those weather people, they don't know, do they? They don't really know. So what I'm going to try and do, I think, with this is just re-wet and kind of smudge it out. I don't know if it's going to work. but I don't like that little cauliflower right there in the sky. So I'm gonna just, and then I might end up putting a little bit more of that purpley color just to make it bleed in there. But see, now I'm getting back over there and I'm not wanting to do that. So there we go. Yeah, it'll be all right. This is my little, we always want to practice and get better at things. I haven't really been doing skies a lot lately, so that's probably part of what's going on. But I want you to know, oh yeah, Christy, I wish you were closer so you could come too. Because we're actually planning to do a little kind of gift exchange, not this week, but next week, I think. So we're gonna do like everybody makes a little treat box to kind of trade swap with everyone, so it'll be fun. It'll be fun. I know some people do swaps online, so they mail them to people, which I don't know if I would want to have to mail. I'm real bad about mailing things to people, sending things in the mail, but it's okay. I mean, I wish I could just afford to have an assistant do all that for me, because that's not the joyful part for me, is not, I'm not good at wrapping or mailing, but it is what it is, right? All right, I'm going to go back in over here. I don't know if that's dry enough. Maybe it is. But I'm going to add this little mountain or landscaping. You know what, I was looking up online to see what kind of art is trending right now. Like, what are people buying? And it said abstract landscapes is one of the top things that people are buying. So I'm kind of like, well, that's cool. I could totally do that. Landscape that's kind of abstract in a way. So you probably can't see what I'm doing. I'm sorry. But at least my head's not in the way. That's good. So I'm just going to go in here and add this. See, I'm going into the sky just a little bit. That's okay, because I'm going to add some of the little brushes, bushes, whatever they are, trees. And see how that just adds a little something. There we go. And it's going to be going into the water. And it's going to be making all of this look like that. But there's going to be some ripples in the water. And I'm liking it because it's a little, if you just wet your brush a little bit and do it, it's going to blur that out. There. So that's looking pretty. This is going to go down a little bit. And I can rinse this real good and just kind of pull it out just a little bit. And so that makes it a little softer. You see that? You can do a little bit back here too. A little more water on there. There. It kind of looks like the picture, I think, so far. Oh, Linda, you're bad about mailing too. You know who's good with that? I would say Diane. Diane's very good about packaging and mailing stuff. And I would totally hire her to do this. All right, so how's this looking to y'all? You think it looks pretty good? It's looking all right. The part that's going to be good and more difficult is the dock. The dock is definitely going to be, it's going to pop. And also the trees over here. I'll have to wait for this to dry before I put my trees in, but it's going to make it pop. I don't know if this is dry. It might be dry enough to add my little boat. My little boat. Let's see. Yeah, it's dry. It's not bleeding. It's not bleeding out. So, and see, I really am not using my tiny brushes. I could totally use them. But I don't know. I don't know if I will or not. I may not do this boat totally accurate. I don't know. Sometimes putting too many of the details in there ruins a painting. So I'm just going to do that for now. But you know how it has that shadow in the water, reflection in the water. So now I have to do that. And so you just kind of follow what it looks like above. But it's not exactly perfect, just a little different. So that looks good. And you know that there's a little bit of a kind of like that ripples. They're just a little bit darker. And they just add a little something just to make it look like it is water. It's looking pretty good. I'll be going in with a darker mix of this. Just like I said I would go in here and do it dark again. So what I do is add layers of washes. So basically it's just building up the color on there. And that makes it stand out more and more. Let's see. Yep, that's looking good there. I can make that more straight like I want it. There. So that's looking good. It's going to be even darker than that. Same with the boat. The boat will be darker. A lot of this will be a lot darker. So now I got to get that color for the dock. Let's see what this is, because we only have a little bit more time left. And I don't ever really start with a clean palette, as y'all know. I just kind of throw some stuff on here, and that kind of makes it so that all of my paintings end up looking, the colors, you can kind of tell that's a Jacqueline painting, so you kind of want to have that be, you know, what you do. So a lot of times people want to just have the pure color, but I've always said nothing is exactly, you know, a bright orange or bright red or all these things, even if you were painting like a parrot with all those colors, you would definitely need to be aware of the shadows and the surrounding colors that are reflecting off feathers and things like that. So nothing is exactly the color straight from the tube. So let me see if I'm going to paint all of this or just boards of it. Is that the color I want? Let's see. That's looking pretty good. And see, I can make these thicker. And keep some lines in between. Of course, I may go in with darker. Some of these lines are a little lighter, some are a little darker. But it's okay. What I can do is just kind of do the whole thing. And then just keep kind of going a little bit here. And I'm following that. Like, I did not draw this real accurately, so it's just going to be what it is. Let me see. Get some more over here. And see, I'm going to add some of this in there. This Payne's gray. Just for fun, adding that in there. And I'm going to get some of these piling started, maybe. Just to make sure they're in there. I don't want to lose them. And then this one is kind of like at an angle instead of how I drew it. That's okay. And a couple more over here. What else we got here? Some right here. And see, just kind of even varying that just a little bit. And then, so right here is where it kind of changes direction. And the size of the planks are going to be a little bit smaller. And the angle might be a little bit more this way. See how that angle is right there? So we can do a little bit like, I may just fill it in and then go back and do some removing with my fancy tip of my paintbrush. But anyways, so that's looking, all this is going to probably be dark. It looks like a bunch of pilings just kind of in a row, so you can't really see them too good. But I'm going to go around this thing. Now I got that. And that's pretty good. You know, there's a few little that are going to stick out just a little bit. And then that's going to look a little lighter. So I'm going to lift it up. Lift it up. See how it looks when I just lift that? And it just kind of makes it look like that. light is shining on it a little bit. And I could get a smaller brush if I wanted to and just lift that. Let's see, we don't want to do every single one. We want it to be, we want it to look like, we want our minds to fill it in. We don't want it to be super detail oriented. So that's gonna do that for now, and then probably gonna use this to make my pilings, and just like that. Nice to see. I drew way too many of them, but that's okay. Do a small one right there. It's probably too late to erase these, but that's okay. We got some bigger ones, some smaller ones, and then we got these long ones at the end. They kind of go all the way up here. That's okay if I don't want to paint them all. You don't have to. You don't have to paint them all. Let's see. Let's see, I can add a bunch if I want. Be like, you know what? This is my dock. I can make whatever I want. There we go. And I want you to notice there's like a shadow that's kind of there. But it's not super, oops, look at that. I made a big mess. I should probably put this more over there. I don't know. Anyways, but see, I got too much in here and I want to get that back up. So I'm just going to re-wet it and dab it out. I can add some lines in there. And I think I'm ready to paint those, maybe. Get some more of that Payne's Gray. And I like a little bit of this in there. So now I'm going to do these pilings on this side, which a lot of them are just kind of on top of each other. And see how that is? You just kind of keep adding. And because that's wet, it's bleeding in there. So I'll probably have to wait for that to dry and then go back in. But these are going to be really dark. I'm going to go back in with these, make them darker, at least on one side. Because the sun, that sun's coming from that angle. And you can even use that rigger brush if you want to, because that'll make it a little easier to get those long skinny lines. And see, we can do that with this. And see how it makes the little boards. And so now your mind is like, oh yes, that's a dock, I can tell. And sometimes I just let it go woo, back and forth a lot. And I want to make this a little darker. Maybe there. It's looking good. Probably needs a little more brown in there, but that's okay. Let me see, y'all. Oh, thanks, Linda. I appreciate you saying it looks really good. Yeah, so far so good, right? So yeah, practice with the biggest brush you can and getting little fine details too. That will help you grow as an artist, just because it'll help you with the muscle memory, which is what makes your mind be able to do what it's doing. Let's see, how's that look? There. And I might go back over here and get this a little darker again. But if you can see in the photograph, I think there's some mist going on. There's mist. But there we go. There. Now I know there's some dark areas in here, but I want to make sure that's all dry before I do that. And I may go back in here and do some more, darken that up. I'll have to readjust my little posts. And my little trees. This actually looks like it should be a little taller right in there, but that's okay. All right, so we got those two things going on. Those two land masses. And we got the dock already, and we got the boat. So what's left? We got to do those trees off to the left side over here. And I'm not sure, I just painted that again. So it's going to be, what you call it? It's going to be wet. And so that means all this is probably going to bleed into it. But if you can tell, I'm going to add a little bit of this brown into my Payton's Gray. And I'm making it really thick. So this is another thing that we all need to remember is like, there's different consistencies of paint. So a lot of times the first washes are like a tea consistency. And if you can see my tea, it's kind of translucent and real watery. So that's what we call a tea consistency. And then this would be more like a milk consistency because it's definitely thick and you can see the brush strokes. So if you were to pour some milk on in a little dish like this and see how that reacts, it's thicker. There's also something called is it cream? Or there's something else called, there's different terminology, which I'm never really good about figuring that out. But so if I get this consistency thick enough, I can actually go in here and paint that, and this part is going to go like that. And see, it's trying to match up because it's reflecting. So, and then I will put that one going that way. I don't know if I really did this right, but that's okay. Like I said, no one's going to see this photo. I mean, y'all are seeing it, but this is how it's supposed to look when you're doing a reflection. So now I'm going to take this and just kind of do the side here, and it's going to make those little tree And then I'll put it down here as well, because that's the water. And then I may want to add some little details. And I'm going to make these connect. And now I'm going to just ever so slightly, maybe I'll use my flat large brush and just kind of go and get that kind of looking more like water. Gotta be careful not to go too far that way. There. So it's a little good. It looks like a reflection, I think. And I may even go in and do a little bit of the brown, just teeny. Just a teeny bit to get like more of a reddish brown from that sun. Maybe kind of hard to do right at this moment. There. There. When you zoom in, you'll be able to see that real good. All right, I'm going to add some lines here just to get that going. Just to make it look better, like it's the boards. But I don't want to do too much of them. Now I'm going to add this real quick too. Sometimes I just get real quick. And I just start doing things. But it is good to look at your reference photo. So I got to keep remembering to do that. So I got some right there. I'm going to make those tops a little more flat. Same over here. These are supposed to be more flat. Here. And I can make that go up a little higher. Let's see. Okay, so those are doing pretty good. You see, it is kind of like a hot mess of little posts over on that side. And that should go that way, and then just make some ripples in the water. That'll look good. And some of these are going to be in shadow right over here. A little more. And see, some of these are going to be thicker, some are going to be thinner. It just adds some detail, but you don't want to overdo it. Because that's when, if you do too many of them, then you're going to have to do them all. I'm going to do a couple. Well, I should use my little skinny one. You can see I'm just adding here and there, not like a ton of them. Because I don't want too many of that. Otherwise, then I'm going to have to do them all. So, what do you think, y'all? Is it looking good? Is it looking good? Hey, it is looking pretty good, I think. If I do say so myself. I don't know, I may go in there when it's dry with some white gel pen. I do need to add that some area back here that I need to add some of this on. And see, I'm just doing that just real light. And I can add just a little bit back there if I want. Wet that and then just bleed it out just a little bit. And see, I like seeing the strokes sometimes of the paintbrush, because then you know it's a painting, y'all. If I don't like something, I'll just lift it up, lift it out. There you go. See? Just keep lifting, keep lifting. So, well, it looks pretty good, I think. For, only taking an hour. It's funny because sometimes I'll follow along with Paul Clark and it takes me like an hour to do it. Or he said it took him like 3 hours to do it. And I'm like, probably that's why yours looks better than mine. But I want to show you guys if you can see this. Let me make sure you can see what I'm looking at. So basically, the granulation in the sky. And that's something I'm not 100% sure if I like on this one. But that's how that paint reacts when it's when you use it. It gets real granulated. Ah, yes, beautiful. Thank you. I can't believe how you can turn a piece of white paper into this. The art is just amazing. I love it. I'm very grateful and blessed that God gave me this talent, that He gave me this desire to be an artist, and I'm just really happy that He did. Normally I say like a little scripture. I didn't really prepare a scripture today, but let me see if I can look one up. Do we want to look up something about hope? I've been telling my friends to go read 2 Peter chapter 3, which is long. So I don't know if I want to read that whole thing for y'all, but what I might do is take the last part of it, because that's the part that really was encouraging to me, the last part. Let me see. So the last part of 2 Peter 3:17, it says, "Therefore, dear friends, since you have been forewarned, be on your guard, so that you may not be carried away by the error of the lawless and fall from your secure position, but grow in the grace and knowledge of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. To Him be glory both now and forever. Amen." So that is one of those letters that Peter wrote to one of the churches, and he was calling them dear friends, or in some translations, beloved. So that is how he felt when he was talking to people. Yes, hope. I have read some, but we'll keep reading. Very good, Linda. Keep reading your Bible, because a lot of times we're seeing what's happening in the world and we get a little nervous, we get a little scared, and we get a little scared because it's like we see war, we see earthquakes, we see floods, we see volcanoes, we see all kinds of stuff happening, and because of the internet, we're hearing about it more and more and more. So I think that being engulfed and immersed in all of this news, that's usually the news focuses on bad things, because that's what sells the news. Not newspapers anymore, but basically gets you to click on their video or gets you to watch their channel. So a lot of times I watch just regular channels, people who have critical thinking skills and they like to question what they're being told, which I think is the best thing. We need to always question what's being told to us. And so for me, I was curious. I was asking, like, how could anyone get across the border into Israel and they have such a very strict, very um, robust type defense. So I was kind of like, how did that happen? And so some other people have been questioning that. Another thing is like the Maui fires, I was questioning how come there's stuff burnt up that's metal, but not the grass and not the trees. So that seemed a little odd. So just keep questioning what you're being told by the mainstream media. But do not be afraid, y'all. Do not be afraid because Jesus is coming back. And if you're a believer, you're good. You're going to be with him. And I pray that we do not suffer. I pray that we are protected from any kind of tribulation that may be headed our way. But remember, we're supposed to love others. That was what Jesus said, to love one another. And he laid his life down for us. We're supposed to lay our lives down for others, especially for our brothers and sisters in Christ. So if you see someone in need and you can help them, please do so. Not because that will give you points. This isn't a point system. But just check in your heart. Like, how do you feel about people? Do you love them? Do you wish they didn't exist? I mean, where's your heart? So for me, I always have to go back to how I feel. Sometimes I get a little angry and I have to check that. And I have one of those mouths on me that can cut people down. And so I got to check that because they say whatever's in your heart is going to come out of your mouth. And I do not want anything mean coming out of my mouth. But sometimes that's hard, especially when you get a little angry. But I hope that y'all are just encouraged. I hope that you enjoyed today's tutorial. I really love how it turned out. I'm looking at it now and it looks kind of cool. I think even if it's framed and put up on a wall, it looks even better. So, but thank you guys so much for joining today. And I hope you all have a blessed one. And just know that I love you all very much. Mwah. But I figure out how to stop this.